Now for the main event of the evening, the fight
It's
everybody's been waiting for.
time.
Number five, Sean Brady versus number one, Leon Edwards. Man, both of them lost to
Five
Belal.
rounds.
5 rounds, this time it's a better time for Leon Edwards. I believe when he was fighting Belal Muhammad, it was something like 4 or 5 in the morning.
Oh no, it
His
was 6
time,
a.m. It was
6 in the
6
morning.
a.m. Yeah,
That's insanity to be up all night long, basically, and then fight at 6 in the morning. So
yeah.
this time's going to be a little bit different. He's going to actually get to fight at a decent time, decent hour, more reasonable hour for fighting, for his circadian rhythms. But he's still going to be facing the same problem. He's going to be facing generally a grappler who's got
Mm.
decent striking. Last time out, Belal Muhammad pretty much dominated him in the wrestling department, controlled him, softened him up, and ground him down basically to a unanimous decision, broke his spirit. Um, and I can almost see the same thing with Sean Brady because Sean Brady, you know, he's the only loss that he has in his last 5 fights is to Belal Muhammad. He's got a win over Jake Matthews by submission. Got a win over Michael Chiesa versus decision via decision. He's got a win over Kevin Gastelum via sub, and he most recently has a win over Gilbert Burns by decision. So, um, man, I don't
Dangerous.
know, bro. Fool, I'm gonna let or Wolf, I'm gonna let you go first because I feel like I already know who you're gonna pick this one.
Yeah, so I'm going with Sean Brett. The fuck that. But you know what it is? It's headshot that time. But go. But seriously, Brady's dangerous. Brady's a really decent grappler. The way he did Gilbert Burns was he out grappled the grappler. You know, again, the reason I'm picking Leon though is he's been in there with grapplers. Usman, Colby, Belal. Yes, Belal had his way. You know, I've seen him saying that Leon's making an excuse about the time, but Ron, you hit the nail on the head, and we spoke about this back then. It's not an excuse. You know, you're staying up all night, switching your whole body clock round. It plays an effect. You know, it really does play an effect, and that wasn't the Leon Edwards that we were used to seeing that night. Do you know what I mean? This time around, it's a perfect time for him. It's going to be like 10 p.m., 11 p.m., something like that. So I see Leon picking him apart because I think there's something that I noticed today. I saw Leon. You know, he looks great. He looks calm. He looks happy. He looks ready. Saw Sean Brady. Sean is very short, shorter than I realised he was, and Leon towers over him. There's a massive height difference and a massive reach difference. Now I know Brady said the line they're all the same size when they go down. True, true, but can he get Leon down? Colby couldn't. Usman could in the first fight, but not really in the second fight. Belal, yes, took him down, but are we saying that Brady is as good as Belal? I'm not sure about that. I don't think
You know,
so.
the thing with the reach, you're right about the height. There is a huge height discrepancy, but I don't think the height discrepancy makes as big of a difference as a reach discrepancy would.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But Leon, for as long and lanky as he is, only has like an inch and a half reach
Mm.
advantage over Brady, who's way broader, in his shoulders, which allows him to extend his little short arms further,
Yeah,
compensating compensating for that reach deficit. You know, and I tend to see this with wrestlers, especially shorter wrestlers who have that wide back from their wrestling base. It helps
yeah.
compensate for that reach deficit by allowing their arms to go out further. So, um, man,
Do you know what I wish
I
they
don't.
would show us? They always show us arm reach. I want to see more leg reach stats. because I think Leon's got the longer legs. So there's going to be a lot of push
Definitely.
kick. I mean, which is dangerous as well because if Brady catches the kick, he can turn it into a sweep or a single leg. But I think there's going to be a lot of kickboxing from Leon, keeping him away, keeping him at distance, circling away from the cage because Brady's going to try and get him back to that cage, and then go for the shoot. So Leon needs to be very fluid with the movements. Old school Leon. We need to see old school Leon for this one.
What do you got, Pooh?
Yeah, I'm gonna rock with the hometown talent, the ex champion of the world. Headshot dead, man. You know what I'm saying? Just see it. Third round, bro. I see a finish. I see Sean Brady getting finished the way Belal finished him. He just brought the pressure to him. And usually if you can do that with striking, if you get outstruck by Belal Muhammad, bro, if he gets stopped by Belal Muhammad by strikes, dog, I'm sorry. Like I no disrespect to obviously, like he's a warrior man. I'm a Sean Brady fan, but like that sold me on this fight. That Belal Muhammad fight will always like. But hey, look at Belal. He's a champ for a reason, right? He's beat pretty much everybody that he needed to beat. I wish he would have fought other people on his way to the title, but hey, he's there. He's a champ. You got to give respect where respect is due. And yeah, but I see him coming back off the Belal uh loss, like coming off a loss like that, you come back like hyped, because it's a frustrating loss, man. By losing to a wrestler, like you can't that negates all your attributes pretty much. It's hard. I think he'll come back harder, strike, go for the knockout. He's been to wars, he's been to too many wars. He's been to the fifth round so many times, and I see third, fourth fight, he's gonna put it on him, and if yeah, that's when you're gonna see the difference of the world champion that he was,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it still is
So,
in my eyes.
so we
I
have
think
to
Leon.
talk about.
Yeah, sorry,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Go ahead.
No, no, go, 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 go.
I was just gonna say, I think Leon gets disrespected far too much. Yeah, I'm biased. I get that, but at the same time, hearing Fu say the same thing that resonates with me. Leon was champ, and he defended against people like Usman, like against Colby. Yeah, the Bilal fight, yeah, and like you say, massive respect to Bilal. I know I talk my shit, but he's the champ. Well done. Congratulations. But Leon gets far too disrespected. People call him boring and this and the other, and I don't think he's boring at all. Do you know what I mean? He's a methodical striker, a methodical fighter, and his takedown defense isn't shit. Do you know what I mean? It's there. But on that night when he fought Bilal, yeah, he got dunked on his head. It is what it is. But it's one of those.
What about the staph infection?
Well, he said there was no staph infection. It was a bite, and it was 6 weeks ago. Now,
Wait, he said it was what?
it was a bite, like a bug bite or something.
Fuck, I've not
I'm
the
just
only
saying what
bug
he said.
bite I've ever seen. Okay, so this has to be said. This has to be said.
Yeah, that Red
This
Wolf needs
wouldn't
to
be.
get checked for staff, and if Red Wolf
Yeah,
has it,
hell
that means
yeah.
Leon has it.
Um, he wouldn't be the first fighter that lied about having not having staph infection prior to a fight. Um,
Mm,
there's been several fighters who have actually fought with staph, lied about it. I think Elir Latifi was one of
yeah,
them. He got suspended. Um,
Marab recently.
there was another one too. I can't remember who it was, but he also lied and fought with a staph infection. And, that poses a huge danger to the other fighter. Now, not saying that he has active staph, but I can see him lying about him having staph infection because of all the implications that brings out. Now, the word on the street is that he had staph infection. It looked like a nasty ass fucking boil on there, and he said it had it about 6 weeks ago. So it makes you wonder, okay, how long was he out? Because regardless of what it was, even a bite, whatever, that thing was nasty. It was huge already. What the hell is
Mm.
that? Is that a bite?
What is that, Boo? Is that
Is that
staff?
the Mexican wolf spider?
Is,
I don't know what fool's trying to
I
show
bur-
here.
I burned myself. It's a burn, but like the thing that I don't know if you can see it now.
There, yeah. I
The
see.
people like now, like it's funny because you see it a lot now. Like people are like, "Oh, staff." Anything they see on someone, like, "Oh, staff, staff."
Yeah.
It's like a witch hunt nowadays. Like every time there's a fight, it's like, "Oh, rumor, like, oh, this motherfucker has staff."
But
But there's
bro,
some that have been
that looked
proven
like
true. Yeah,
staff. And
yeah.
that looks like fucking staff. I mean, it or like what I've seen like with one of those recluse spider bites when it just makes the skin necrotic inside and it's just rotting from the inside out. You
He's
know,
probably
e-
paintballing. I don't
either
know what
way,
the.
yeah, right. Either way, that thing was probably bruised, infected, required antibiotics, probably took time off from training. And simply because you can't be on sweaty ass mats and in gym conditions with an open fucking sore like that, regardless of whether it's staph or a fucking bug bite. So I know that had to have done something and compromise him in a way, and he's playing poker right now with that. That's
We'll
one
see.
thing. The second thing is it seems like Bilal is living rent free in
Oh,
Leon Edwards' head, man. All Leon Edwards could think about is his loss to Belal, getting back to that title fight with Belal, reclaiming the title, the belt that's his, and bringing it back to London. Um, and Brady said, bro, there's a guy that wants to kill you right in front of you Saturday night. You need to take care of that business first before you start thinking about your fight with Belal. And I think Brady's 100% right. If he's not really focused on the challenge ahead of him, it could slip away from him too.
but then again, he could also twist that. He's facing another grappler, and he could be focusing on Brady as Bilal. So he's facing Brady, but then he's going to do to Brady what he wanted to do to Bilal at the right time. Do you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of mental gymnastics. There's a lot of like, he could be looking across the octagon and it's not Brady, it's Bilal. So he, in his heart, he's like, I have to beat the fuck out of you. Do you know what I mean? I have to prove that I can beat these people. And again, it is a big fight for Leon. If he loses this, then everyone's gonna be like, oh, washed. It was the fake champ, blah blah. Do you know what I mean? So Leon needs to come back and prove and show everybody who he is. Remind everybody this is Leon Rocky Edwards. This is the one that headshot dead. Do you know what I mean? That pulls himself out of the fire and yeah, gets especially in front of his own country. He has a home crowd. They're going to be rooting and rocking with him. But yeah, like I said, man, it's a good point, even if it was a bite, which he said it was. I'm just saying. Um, but yeah, was he out for a bit? Was he this? But it also tells me he was doing a lot of grappling training. If it was staff.
Which we would think that he should have been doing all camp, right? Is addressing that. No need to be addressing the striking, which he already has an advantage over.
Yeah, he's already a phenomenal kickboxer, and
Yeah, he's got to address the grappling holes that it's, pretty obvious.
mm,
Um,
mm. So who are
yeah,
you going
man.
with, Long?
I'm
Who are you
going with
going with?
He
Brady.
said
I'm going with
Brady. Yeah,
Brady.
he said
Oh,
it.
he
Yeah,
said Brady. He didn't say
I'm going with
Brady.
Brady because I don't think that Edwards has, grappling is one of those things that you can't learn and figure out in a camp.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And no matter how, proficient these guys are, they're peak martial artists and the top of their level. So is Brady in grappling, and he's a new dad now. He's got a new focus in why he's doing these things and why he's fighting, and he's got a real shot at a title opportunity. So I think that he can just put the same game plan Bilal did, and Edwards, once the distance gets closed, it's going to
Mm,
be a problem. He's going to have to use elbows and short range attack to try to drive um, Brady back or try to hurt him enough that it compromises Brady's ability to grapple. When you have a lot of blood, things are slippery. It makes it harder to secure submissions. So those are advantages that Edwards can exploit with Brady up close. But he's got to have it all in here. Be ready to have a war with Brady,
Oh
not
yeah.
with
Oh,
Belal
this is
too.
gonna be a war. It's gonna be a war. You know, both guys gonna try and take each other's block off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm excited to see this. I'm excited for the whole UFC London card. I'm excited to see the whole London crowd go nuts. You know, they usually show up and show out from the first
Oh,
fight.
we're ready. We're
Unlike the
ready.
spoiled motherfuckers over here, you know, where in Vegas people don't show up to their seats to like the co-main event of the fight because they're just too fucking spoiled. You know, London
But keep
really
your eye
knows how
out.
to
You know,
appreciate their fan base.
exactly, man. Keep your eyes out because you might see me doing the Theo Vong right there in the front row, just me sat there. Do you know what I mean? Like, like
Bro,
the fight in hand.
If the UFC shows the homie Red Wolf MMA, oh my God, it's gonna be absolute cinema
I would
for the
love it.
MMA homies, bro.
MMA
Really
homies
appreciate
and
you guys
gangster
fucking
fans, we're all
shooting the
here, man.
shit. Hell yeah.
Like
Shout
I
out to the
say,
homies on the chat. Good luck to you guys all with your betting endeavors. I know you got March of Madness going too. Cole, don't go broke this weekend. There's a lot of events. Pace yourself, you
bit
know.
by bit. You know what I mean? Bit by bit. But yeah, all you boys are going to be with me in spirit. I'm going to be having many spirits for you. I'll be sending pictures in the chat and keep an eye on the profile, the Twitter page, my Instagram. You know, if we're doing a watch along, maybe I drop in live from the arena.
That'd be tight. That'd be
That'd be
tight.
sick, man. Give me a money line of Puja tomorrow. Give me Chris Padilla taco and give me Jean Blachowicz.
Blahovic.
Blachowicz.
Hovish.
Yeah,
Yo, Polish
I
power.
like two of those three.
it's underdogs. You know, we got to rock. It's a little underdog, nothing serious. They're the odds are too nice to not
Yeah.
throw
The
something
only
at
thing
it.
I'm gonna say on that, just move to Shauna. You pick Shauna for us. Come on, bro.
If she was an underdog, I would definitely would have picked her.
I get that, man. I get that. So I hope this Brit card, makes you all a ton of money. And as always, bet responsibly now. Only you know what I'm saying.
It goes a long way.
Hit that like and subscribe button, everybody. Thank you for showing up, showing out. Yo,
Yeah.
we out.
So.